This is way worse than we thought, as the Pelicans sit at the very bottom of the entire NBA. A possible solution could be playing out right in front of our eyes, and we may not even be realizing it. We're going to take a deep dive into it and talk about it all inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, y'all? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, back once again inside Pelicans Digest. Thank you so much for tapping in with me. And, man, it has been another horrendous weekend dealing with the Pelicans, just watching some terrible basketball as the Pelicans have lost 2 straight now, as they recently lost to the Houston Rockets last night and also took an L to the Indiana Pacers, who are at the very bottom of the Eastern Conference. I mean, man, it's just bad basketball all around, man. But an article today that's come out and some information that came out last night kind of opened my eyes to some things and kind of made me realize that the solution to our problems may be playing out right in front of our eyes, and we just maybe not paying attention to it. I don't know. Maybe the coaching staff isn't paying attention to it. I don't know. But we're going to talk about it inside this edition. But first, we got to tell you that thank our friends at Kalshi once again for sponsoring this video. As you know, Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and you can trade on just about anything. And right now, you can trade using the code DIGESTNBA to get a $20 bonus when you trade $100 on their platform. And you can trade on just about anything: news, sports, politics, whatever. You can trade on it right here on Kalshi. And right now, you know the national championship game is coming up tonight, and a lot of action going down over on Indiana and Miami, okay? Indiana is currently blowing things out right now, and a lot of folks are getting in on the action thinking Indiana's going to win big over Miami tonight. But another line that I'm kind of interested in, because, again, on Kalshi, you can trade on just about anything, is what will the announcer say during the college football playoff national championship game? I think that's hilarious. But you can get on in action and see if they're going to say no good, turf, or what a catch. What a catch, man. You can use your sports knowledge, your news knowledge, whatever kind of knowledge you got about anything. You can trade on it on Kalshi. So make sure you get the link in the description below, and also use code DIGESTNBA, all right? Use DIGESTNBA to get your $20 bonus. And we got to thank our friends at Kalshi once again for sponsoring this video, all right? And as we get into it inside this edition of Pelicans Digest, man, last night's game against the Rockets. And, you know, this is a team you beat before, and yet, at the same time, this team was still able to dominate you. Kevin Durant broke a record, of course. It was to be expected. It's always the Pelicans. That's usually what happens. But one thing I'm getting frustrated with the Pelicans is the starting lineups that James Borrego is rolling out. Of course, you know, for the most part, last night you had your starting 5, who you believe is supposed to be your core starting 5 since you don't have Herb Jones. So you got Fears, Queen, Bay, Murphy, and Zion. And the thing that frustrates me about these starting lineups so far the last couple of games is the fact that the Pelicans are getting down early to these teams at the start of every game. They always get down 10, 11, sometimes 15 to 20 points early, and then you start getting a second unit in there. And you start seeing them climb back into these games due to the play of the second unit. And I'm wondering why you just don't start the damn second unit at this point. And we're going to get into that in a matter of minutes. But first, Shamit Dua of WDSU TV in New Orleans, and he also covers the Pelicans, brought up something fascinating when it comes to the minutes that Jeremiah Fears and Derik Queen are on the floor for the Pelicans. And I was kind of fascinated by his take on this as well. And I think it's something that we have to take a look at as a fan base, and also if you're an analyst of the games, something that's realistic. And he says in his on Blue Sky last night, he said during the game that since Christmas, the Pelicans' net ratings are this: when Fears and Queen both are on the floor, it's minus 6 or 8. Let me make that bigger for you so you can see. Since Christmas, Pelicans net rating, Fears and DQ both on the floor are minus 8.31. When Fears and DQ are both off the floor, it's plus 6.69. And it's incredibly difficult to win in the NBA with rookies. And this is a known fact. I mean, this is a known fact and it's pretty much understood. And I don't disagree with what Shamit is saying. So the question is, why, if you're seeing this and you're also starting to see both of these guys sort of hit these walls, why not switch things up? Why not switch things up? Why not shake up the lineup a little bit? You've been shaking it up all year, and you still just only got 10 wins. I mean, at this point, I mean, let's be real here. This is another losing season, all right? All right, we're past the 40-game mark. We got 35 losses and only 10 wins. It's a losing season at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point, if you're not going to trade anybody and you're not going to make a move at the trade deadline, which we still don't know if they're going to do that or not, why not start experimenting now? Why not? That's my thing. Chris Lambert of Pelicans Debrief, who I tend not to agree with Chris on a lot of things, but I have to agree with him on this because what he said about this is true. He says the three players who have consistently, as of late, came off the bench and been legit contributors in secondary minutes are Micah Peavy, Yves Missi, and Karlo Matkovic. And the thing that's frustrating about Yves, the thing that we keep fussing about with Yves Missi is, he's been showing that he's not confident offensively. But over the last few games, we have seen some improvement in that department for Yves. And some of the numbers that are starting to stand out for Yves in this department, as you can see, 18 minutes. I gotta love the new graphics. Big shout out to the gang at Digest Media, new graphics and all that other good stuff. 18 minutes a game. He's getting 5 points a game. I think his advanced stats are kind of fascinating, especially as of late. He's one of the top rebounders in basketball as of right now. That's what that green stands for. The green, simplified for you, the green stands for good categories. They're in the top percentages in the NBA in that category. The red, of course, means they're at the bottom. And as you can see, he's one of the top shot blockers in basketball. And as you've seen as of late, centers are starting to abuse Derik Queen. Yeah, Derik Queen will get his 1 or 2, 3 blocks a game. He'll get those blocks. But that's still not sufficient rim protection. And you saw that last night with Houston, especially when they ran that double big lineup. And James Borrego chose not to run that double big lineup. Also, we got to give a big shout out to Micah Peavy, man, because, again, he's been playing admirably as of late. He has his moments. He's a rookie as well. But something that Chris Lambert brought up in the conversation that I found fascinating and it's true is the fact that these guys play with a lot of hustle, play with a lot more grit and grind, as opposed to the starting five, who seems to be out there trying to be more concerned about not getting hurt. This season, the Pelicans ranked 12th in the NBA in bench scoring, with their second unit averaging 38.3 points a game. For a team that ranks just 21st in overall points per game, that production is particularly notable. The bench is responsible for roughly 33% of New Orleans' total scoring output. Now, those numbers are skewed when you think about the fact that we had Zion coming off the bench, and you also got Jordan Poole coming off the bench now at this current point. He's coming off the bench. And he's had those nights where he had 20-something points or something like that. But the thing that stands out about Peavy, Matkovic, and Missi is that they've been bringing the energy and the hustle and the effort as compared to the starters and the starting five. So my thing is, why do we keep trotting out a starting five that ain't giving us the effort and energy? I thought this was a team that y'all say was going to reflect the energy of the city. I thought that y'all wanted to reflect a team that was going to, as y'all said, be a reflection of the city and all that jazz that y'all was talking. All that jazz right there. Missi is leading the team in overall net rating right now. Peavy ranks 4th, and Matkovic sits 11th. On top of that, these three are also all in the top 4 on the team in defensive rating, with Matkovic being the team leader for a team that don't play any damn defense. This team don't play no defense. You see it. They are horrendous at switching. They just switch. Oh, hey, take that guy. You know that's a mismatch. I'm so sick and tired of always seeing my point guard or a shooting guard covering a center in the paint because somebody switched off to the wrong man or just didn't want to stick with the man that they had. This team is defensively stupid, and you're telling me that 3 of these players on your team that's in the top rank, that's outranking your starters in defensive rating, have to come in and clean up their mess every time. I just put the cleanup men in the start then at this point. Just let them clean up then. Just let them start the game. Just let them start with the energy and the effort that they're willing to give. It's frustrating, man, because you don't know. We don't, as a fan base, we don't know what direction this team is going in. We have no idea. This team is acting like, I said it before, this team thinks for some reason it's North Korea, and it's got to keep their secrets to itself. We don't know nothing. We don't hear nothing. We just sit back and just look. And the doubling down is starting to make me cranky. Tomorrow is the season ticket holder celebration, and I'm not going. I'm not going. For starters, I'm not up for the drive right now. And number 2, I don't want to celebrate. What is there to celebrate? The fact that I gave y'all my money to get a 10-win product this season? Shout out to my cousin Corey, too. I saw you was at the game last night in Houston, brother. I'm sorry you had to see that, cuz. But I don't want to celebrate this. I don't want to celebrate this right now. What are we celebrating? That I'm a season ticket holder? Well, thank you. Thank you. Give me a better product on the floor. And I can celebrate. What are your thoughts, though, on what I'm proposing? This is my proposal. My proposal is that you start the second unit. Let's go ahead and start the second unit. Go ahead. I'll do you one better. Go ahead and keep Murphy at the starting point. Keep Murphy in starting. Go ahead and put Peavy at a wing position. Go ahead and put Poole as the point. We're going to have to live with Poole. I mean, I know the antics are going to come. Go ahead and run the double big with Matkovic and Missi. And you can put in Zion, too, if you want to go with that route. I guess so you could go Zion, Murphy, Matkovic, Missi, and maybe Poole or Peavy. But at this point, I think with the rookies, you got to sit them. You got to let them come off the bench now at this point. They've proven that they can be starters, but now they've hit a wall because they're running into and this whole experiment of let them get their knocks now. Let them get their knocks with the second unit then. Because I love the fact that Antonio Daniels is betting Jeremiah Fears that he's going to wear his jersey if he gets those 10 assists. He ain't going to get them 10 assists, Antonio AD. I'm sorry, brother. He may get them if he starts on the second unit. I'm just saying. What are your thoughts, though? Clap back in the comments on what you think the Pelicans need to do at this point in the season. It's going to be a losing season. It's going to be a losing season. So let's go ahead and let's start seeing what we got out here. That's the only thing I got left at this point. What we got left. So what are your thoughts? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments, man. And thank you so much for tapping in with me here on Pelicans Digest. As we struggle through another season of Pelicans basketball, we here to give you the best opinion, analysis, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans. It's Melz talking about those Pels. Holla at your boy.